Well, there's been a lot of column inches dedicated to Barnaby Joyce over the weekend. Some suggesting that his popularity in his own electorate is overstated, that he's an embarrassment to the National Party. What do you think?
Well, I just look at the last election results. Barnaby got over 50% of the primary vote. There's only about 6 or 7 seats in the country where the local member can say that they didn't need preferences, they got there on first preferences. So I think you just need to take a cold shower, everybody, and calm down. Barnaby has admitted to the mistake, and Barnaby has had the courage to come forward and admit that. And that's what I think, I respect in our party room, that we're real people. We're not without faults in the National Party, but we're reflective of our community in making sure that we fight for them, and we take that common sense to Canberra to make sure that their views, their aspirations are heard.
Yep, well said. Look, I think with all these things, when we're preaching, whoever that may be, you risk setting standards that absolutely no one can meet, but we'll see where that goes. I know you're in Orange. You're talking about wind farms. What's going on there?
Well, again, this is this reckless race to 82% renewables, and they're asking regional Australia to bear the brunt of it. And in Molong, there's a project here where farmers and even environmentalists are against. We're destroying the very thing we're there to protect. We're destroying the environment, the native environment, and it doesn't take into account the transmission lines. We're not against renewables in totality, but all these wind factories and solar factories and transmission lines are impacting us. Let's pause, let's plan. And why wouldn't we, if you want to continue on with renewables, put them on the environment, like solar panels on an environment they can't destroy, on people's rooftops where the concentration of power and concentration of population is, where it's required, and support families to have energy independence with a battery on the side of the house instead of us bearing the brunt of it out here. That would take away a lot of the need for the transmission lines and for us to lose our food security and drive up your food prices. We just want some common sense, and these communities haven't been consulted well enough, and we're going to be in their corner, and we'll have a sensible energy policy that we take to the next election that, because of the Nationals, will include nuclear energy.
Well, how popular do you think nuclear reactors are going to be? You're going to put them in Orange?
Well, I think where we've said very clearly is that they should go where existing coal-fired power stations are, because then you alleviate the need for the 28,000 kilometres of new transmission lines. I have 4 coal-fired power stations in my own electorate, and I've made it clear I'm prepared to lead my community through a conversation about a small-scale modular nuclear reactor in one of those communities where those jobs will be protected. I'll lose 600-700 jobs in Kingaroy in 2030. Those families could have a future. We should back ourselves with the new technology and the smarts that Australia has. Just take away the ban. Let's fight this out in the marketplace, not politicians yelling at one another who's right and who's wrong on costs. The market, if you take away the ban, will determine whether it's feasible or not.
Okay, we will see. David, thanks so much for your time as always.